There are 3 teams remaining that have a guy who's a real problem for Bam. So there are 3 teams that they have a guy who can make Bam foul out, that are problematic, and Anthony Davis might be the worst of them. Anthony Davis, you've got Jokic, you've got Embiid. I'd rather play Boston. If I'm the Miami Heat, I'd rather play Boston because those guys are better at offense than Bam is at defense. And those 3 guys are mutant problems. What I saw from Embiid last night, what I saw from the Celtics fans got scared overnight. I mean, they've always been scared. They're the Boston-haunted fan base. But overnight, the way that game played out, they're like, oh, holy shit, they have the MVP. And our guys don't look at home, losing by 20, like they're up for how much this dude cares. Because in the era of load management, does anyone out here doubt how much Embiid cares about winning, crying?
I did in the previous game when it looked like he was checking out. And then Boston just gave the Sixers life. And last night, Embiid looked like he relished in the lifeline. And he was outstanding. I do agree that Anthony Davis is probably a matchup problem for Bam, but I haven't really seen it. The one time they matched up in the finals, Bam was hurt. And Bam, even though I do think Embiid will give him problems throughout that series, Bam is reputed to be, air quotes, an Embiid stopper.
And maybe I'd like to see the test. I'm scared of Embiid. I'm scared of that skill set.
Who do you think Jimmy Butler wants? Like, he wants the Sixers, right? I mean, Jimmy Butler has done this career thing where just this morning alone, he was being compared in the same sentence to Michael Jordan, to Kobe Bryant, to LeBron James in terms of just being an assassin, a guy you can rely on in the playoffs.
But this is
Don't you think he wants the team that said go away?
Stugotz, this is how this happens, though, right? A guy wins a little bit in the playoffs. This happened overnight. It went from everyone in the sport piling on Anthony Davis to Boogie Cousins saying Anthony Davis is the best two-way player ever, and LeBron James saying that Anthony Davis is the best defensive player in the league. You play games deep into the postseason, we'll create all of those conversations around you, and that's how we anoint superstardom. But what happened to Boston last night felt almost as good as all the good that Miami has felt this postseason. To watch them collapse under the strain of it all that way. Oh, you're just going to keep taking threes? And Time Lord's not a problem for this guy if he wants to shoot in the middle of the key. If Embiid wants to shoot 8-footers or if he wants to shoot 25-footers, he's a scary proposition for anybody playing him.
We should afford Time Lord some time to recover, if fully recover is even an option for him, because he was really banged up throughout the playoffs and he kept playing through it, and I worry he may not be that player anymore.
I was asking you guys whether it was worth it for the Celtics to risk ruining the career of that guy during the last postseason.
But Dan, they made it to an NBA Finals, and when he was on the court, even with one leg, he was still being a menace.
But he was out there playing because they told him there wasn't going to be further damage. Like, that guy might have cost himself hundreds of millions of dollars because he played during a postseason. Kept playing, gave his body to that cause, and then they lose to the Warriors. And if you're fearing your greatest fears from last night, that can look like as close as you're going to get. If you're if Jaylen Brown leaves because he's tired of Boston, and Tatum starting games 0 for 7 for you, and you're watching, because what I loved about Embiid last night wasn't even the offense. It wasn't. It was him chasing down Tatum and Brown at the rim and like, no, I'm bigger than you are. That shit don't work on me over here. I'll chase you down from behind and you will fall into the crowd, and I'm going to take it the other way because I'm going to block it easily over here as you think you're getting back into the game.
Yeah, he was fully engaged. And we'll see if they do indeed play the Heat. Because, I mean, the Sixers still have to win another game.
You guys have the Celtics being done, huh? Like Tatum and Brown can't win a game.
I just love the darkness.
I mean, how often does Al Horford go 0 of 7? I mean, hell of a bounce-back game. That's what champions do.
You love
even though he's never won a championship.
Dan loves the darkness.
You sound like a villain. You love the
No,
darkness.
Bill Simmons last night says he doesn't like the dark place. Look, Boston's scared. Boston's been scared all season, and last night was confirmation. That fan base, historic fan base that's won with a super team.
You think the darkness is your friend? I was born in it, molded by it.
They're scared. Boston's scared last night. That's what came out of that place last night. The historic place. What? Oh no, the darkness. Here comes the darkness.
It doesn't look like they have anything.
The Panthers deserve credit for this. Florida Panthers. They did this to Boston. They started it. The game after the Panthers beat the Bruins in Game 7, Celtics fans were like, "Oh, come on, this can't all happen." And then they lost. Oh, perfect.
Stugotz, understand something, and I want to make. I guess you guys must have missed it. Bill Simmons was so broken by the third quarter of last night's game that he said, "I cannot tweet."
Oh, wow.
I'm so in the darkness.
I'm so tired of his darkness. Seriously. Simmons' darkness. No one has done more winning over the last 25 years than that town and Bill Simmons.
But not that basketball.
Enough of the darkness, enough of the
team.
demons.
Not the basketball team, though.
Now, the basketball team has the
But
winningest franchise
but that's,
in the history of the NBA.
But it's Havlicek and all that.
Honda.
It's a long time ago.
It's not that long ago, Dan. I mean, they just won a championship with Garnett, Pierce, Rondo, and those guys.
For 25 years, the Miami Heat have been better. Hard stop. Than the most traditional of franchises.
Okay, but over the course of time, that's the winningest franchise in the history of the NBA. Them and the Lakers.
Is Game 6 going to be sort of a blueprint game for
Wow.
Boston? Like, is this one of those where it could sort of end what they're doing and building around Tatum and Brown and Smart and this whole crew?
Stugotz, I am not saying that they are done. I'm saying that their own fan base that was leaving early last night is fearing more than it has in 2 seasons that they're done. That they're playing against the MVP and now it goes on the road unless they can win by 11 on the road. They did it to Atlanta. Like they can. I don't think I've been more surprised by a result this postseason in a single game than that last night. Than that one last night where I was like, oh shit, the Sixers by 20 and Maxi's going to hit everything.
What about Jer Bear's question, though? Blueprint game.
You're the announcer of those things.
Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
But
Missoula's
he was
coaching.
asking you. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm asking you. You're the blueprint guy. You love to call for blueprint games.
well, do you think Jaylen Brown leaves if the Celtics lose tonight?
I'm asking you if it's a blueprint game.
It's
or
for
not.
everything.
It's not tonight.
It's a blueprint game.
It's not tonight.
Love it.
When is the game?
There's not a game tonight.
Oh,